appears ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is a story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Hello and welcome to CoreTV News at 7. I am Franco Malape and here are some of the stories we're filing. At this time, President Goodluck Jonathan on Sunday described the former Foreign Affairs Minister Olugbunga Ashiru as an exemplary diplomat who gave his most productive years to the patriotic service of his nation. Jonathan said in a statement issued by his spokesman, Ruben Abati, that Nigeria would always owe the late minister a debt of gratitude for his notable contributions to the establishment of mutual beneficial relationship with other countries. He added that the late diplomat would be remembered as one of an elite few who, after a distinguished career in the foreign service, was recalled from retirement to serve as Minister of Foreign Affairs in recognition of his widely acknowledged leadership qualities and diplomatic skills. Ambassador Ashiru died on Saturday in a South African hospital during a protracted illness. The All Progressive Congress says that it has postponed its House of Assembly primaries scheduled for Monday, December 1st across the nation by a day as a mark of respect for those who were killed in Friday's terrorist attack on the Central Jumat Mosque in Kano, and in sympathy with those who were injured or affected one way or the other by the senseless attack. This was contained in a statement issued in Lagos by its National Publicity Secretary, La Mohammed. The party said the House of Assembly primaries will now hold on Tuesday, December 22nd, December 2nd, 2014, while date for all other primaries remain unchanged. The party described the attack as a memento national tragedy, disclosing that the party cannot be oblivious to the plight of the victims of the absolutely condemnable and totally incomprehensible attack on the defenseless citizen in such a hallowed place as a mosque. In an earlier statement, the party had condemned in the strongest term possible the attack on the innocent worshippers and vowed that terrorism will never prevail no matter how long it takes. It also urged all citizens to demonstrate the Nigerian spirit of compassion and strength of character by providing succor and support to one another. Lagos State Governor Babatunde Fashola has restated call for Nigerians to vote the People's Democratic Party out of government in the 2015 general elections. Fashola made the call while receiving directives defectors from Lagos PDP to the All Progressive Congress. A correspondent, Abiola Alowole, was at the Lagos APC secretariat venue of the defection. His report is presented from our studios.
As the 2015 general elections approach, there has been visible alignments and realignments by politicians across party divides in order to realize their ambitions. Some members of the Lagos PDP, led by the former deputy governor during the administration of Lateef Jakonde, Rafiu Jafojo, have formally defected to the All Progressive Congress. Speaking on behalf of the defectors, a former PDP stalwart, Abayomi Fini, says the desire for change made them join APC.
We had to take this decision because of the political climate in the country and the already air in the polity of our nation. We have also observed painfully the violent internal struggle with the party that is from where we are coming, and the lack of internal democracy, PDP. The totality of this is an abysmal failure of the federal government on all fronts. One fail, and the colossal disappointment to Nigeria and Nigerians.
Receiving the defectors, Fashola says the spate of defection from PDP is a clear manifestation of the capacity of APC to deliver Nigeria from what he called bad governance by the ruling PDP at the federal level.
For us, the time to change the management of Nigeria's government is upon us. Those who have been entrusted with that responsibility have demonstrated a lack of capacity to do so. We need a fresh pair of hands, a fresh pair of eyes and a fresh pair of minds, fresh sets of mind, to reappraise the Nigerian problem. And I think that no other party is best suited to do that than the All Progressive Congress.
Political observers say more politicians whose political ambitions are not realizable after the primaries of their parties are also likely to follow suit.
After the long-standing disagreement over the list of delegates, a common ground was later agreed upon between stakeholders of the PDP in Adamawa State and the committee saddled with the responsibility of conducting the Party House of Assembly primary election. The Adamawa State House of Assembly primaries started with the distribution of electoral materials. Electoral officers and security agents have since been dispatched to various constituencies. The Moose was charged throughout the night as a major participant kept vigil to monitor happenings. Party Chairman Chief Joel Madaki informed journalists that the right thinking have been done by respecting a court decision where an authentic list will now be used.
When I say it has been conciled, it has been adopted, there is no question to it because all the delegates and everybody has agreed, you see, are the delegate to be used. But the doctor delegate, you cannot doctor anything that you don't make. You see, if it is doctoring, if it is anything, it must be done by the people of Adamawa State and in Adamawa State, not from the National Secretariat. The National Secretariat there is to make sure that things are done correctly and things are done in a very nice way. And if they said what we are using is not the correct one, it's left to them to call all and sundry from the state and ask them whether the method followed was faulty or not.
So today, they commenced distribution of election materials, and it is being done transparently, openly, in the presence of everybody. So as far as I am concerned, it is very, very transparent. It is upright, and we believe popular candidates will emerge so that they can ensure the victory of PDP at all subsequent elections. Thank you very much.
About 7 local government areas affected by insurgency will carry out their voting in various centers within the state capital. Away from there now, the leadership of the Ekiti State People's Democratic Party says it will sweep all seats in the Ekiti State House of Assembly election come 2015 to produce an assembly that will work for the progress of the state. Now, the chairman of the party, Ido Faleye, made his disclosure after the party's House of Assembly primaries in Ado-Ekiti. Our correspondent, Rashid, has more in this report.
Announcement by the National Secretariat of the People's Democratic Party that its House of Assembly primaries nationwide be postponed as mark of respect for victims of the Kano Central Mosque bomb attack. Some state chapters of the party, such as Ekiti, held the primaries. Chairman of the party in the state, Ido Faleye, explains why the party in Ekiti State went ahead with the primaries.
To that effect, and I've not gotten any call to that effect, and I've not gotten any mandate from anywhere. But since we have set for the primary, sincerely, the primary you have to hold.
A tour around parts of the state did not, however, show any sign of primaries except in Ado-Ekiti, giving credence to the speculation that the state governor, Ayo Fayose, had earlier handpicked the candidates, something dismissed out of hand by Ido Faleye, saying most candidates emerged through consensus.
Excellency have never fixed anybody. It's the only party that appealed to candidates. And the reason why we are appealing to candidates is that you see what happened in this Ekiti. During the first regime of Dr. Ayodele Fayose, it is this House of Assembly that caused chaos in Ekiti. And that chaos gave us a step back of almost 12 years. You see there's been one governor after the other, one governor after the other, no peace of mind politically. So we want to make sure that we have reliable and decent people in the House of Assembly. And what is happening now in Ekiti again, you see, it is the House of Assembly. We don't want to have a position where there is friction within the legislative arm and the executive arms.
Party leaders also list their expectations from the candidates come 2015.
The party is trying to live up to its name, People's Democratic Party. We are trying to let people know that our party is a democratic.
We've talked to our candidate that we want credible, reliable, and resourceful candidates, not just anybody, not just any mediocre, not thugs, We want reliable, discipline and decent legislative arm of government in this next dispensation.
With the conclusion of the primaries of the ruling party in Ekiti, the ball is now in the court of the opposition, the APC, which still controls the majority in the crisis-ridden House of Assembly as the plan for another round of electoral bout in 2015. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado Ekiti.
The People's Democratic Party nationwide hold its state assembly primaries on Saturday. A correspondent Oluwaseyi Adegoke was at the PDP Secretariat in Lagos, where she monitored one of the primaries and filed this report.
Ballot boxes were distributed to returning officers earlier on Saturday, as the primaries were slated to take place in 40 constituencies in the state. The Lagos PDP Publicity Secretary had assured before the commencement of the primaries that the exercise will be free and fair.
It is expected that the returning officers will leave here and go straight to the various primary venues and conduct free, fair, credible elections using the 3 delegates per ward, using the LGA officers, using the state officers, and all other bona fide voters that fall within the constituencies for today.
The Ikeja constituency primaries were held at the party secretariat with 5 aspirants contesting for the Ikeja constituency 1. Robert Ohafoso emerged winner of the exercise. Another aspirant in the same constituency commended the exercise, but not without some reservations.
We are here for the deal. The primaries of the State House of Assembly, Lagos State. The only problem we have is period to this time, there have been some agitations and allegations of imposition of candidates. But in as much as we had complained to the leadership of the party, and they have assured us that there's not going to be anything like that, that it's going to be free and fair, and it's going to be transparent, they are promised. Because I think at this point the party is interested in trying to get it right so that what used to happen before will not happen again.
Though winners may have emerged at the various primaries, the quality of their representations will however be tested at the 2015 general elections. Oluwaseyi Adegoke, CoreTV News, Lagos.
Notwithstanding the announced nationwide postponement of the primaries of the People's Democratic Party following Friday's cannon blast, the Osun PDP leadership confirmed settling for consensus candidacy in many of the primaries it conducted. A correspondent, Rashid, who monitors the exercise in Osogbo, the state capital, reports that most of the areas visited were devoid of political activities. He files in this report.
For the Osun PDP, the last-minute change of the announcement to cancel the primaries as a sympathy gesture to the people of Kano over Friday's mosque bombing may not have changed the status quo, as the party leadership in the state says it has achieved its purpose.
The primary election for the House of Assembly was postponed in a number of places, but that was not applicable. It's not applicable to all the states of Nigeria. Like in Osun here today, the primary election for the House of Assembly candidates is ongoing. It's been completed in a number of places.
Some constituencies and local government secretariats visited by CoreTV News were under lock and key, as there is no sign of any activity to signify that the said primaries being conducted. Here again is the Osun State PDP spokesperson.
It depends on where you have gone to. If you have gone to a place where the arrangement has been concluded by consensus and all you have just done today is affirmation, you will come to that conclusion. Earlier than now, we've had the consensus arrangements, whereby by consensus arrangements, some candidates have emerged in various constituencies. Today, we are conducting primaries in about 8 state constituencies, and from reports coming in, quite a number have been concluded successfully.
There is also less activity at the PDP State Secretariat, even though the party's spokesman revealed that the exercise that will produce the party's House of Assembly candidate is in line with the tenets of democracy.
If there's anything coming up by way of one grievance or the other, there's a machinery already put in place by the internal mechanism or the dynamics of the party. It's in place to ensure that whatever grievances, whatever protests, whatever thing that may arise will be conclusively and democratically resolved.
Despite its position as the leading opposition party in the state, The PDP says it will go for broke in all elections to be contested for in 2015. Rashid, CoreTV News, Oshogbo.
You're still watching CoreTV News at 7. After the break, join the former governor of Ekiti State, Segun Oni, as he talks about his privileges and right. After this break.
From time immemorial, women have birthed life, shaped character, and by extension, influenced the society. Moremi of Ife, Emoten of Benin, Queen Aminat of Zaria, all women of influence and power.
Whether it's before election, after election.
How ironical, women being so powerful yet have few grounds in decision making.
They see you as a wife, and I see you as a wife to a man.
We are talking women in politics.
A woman will be bold enough to stand up and say, I want to become president of Nigeria.
Only on CoreTV News.
Glad to have you back now. You can also reach us on our social media platform. It's facebook.com/CoreTV News. You can also log on to our Twitter handle at CoreTV News NG. And for our news production previously, log on to youtube.com/CoreTV, leave a space, the news. Now, the restoration of rights and privileges of former Ekiti State Governor Segun Oni by the incumbent Ayodele Fashi has once again exposed the political divide in the state. Our correspondent Rashid, who spoke to Segun Oni in an exclusive interview, has more in this report.
The decision by Ekiti State Governor Ayodele Fayoshi in putting back the picture of former Governor Segun Oni, who was sacked by the Court of Appeal in Ilorin in 2010 to its former place, has its significance, as explained by the governor.
Today, formally, I'm acknowledging that Segun Oni has contributed his quota. That remains a statement of fact. We can talk to each other any which way when we talk politics. But in issues of reality, you can't take away the roads, the policies of Segun Oni, the roads, the goodwill, the few things he was able to achieve in his tenure. So for me, Segun Oni is restored as governor that has served in this state.
But while reacting in an interview with CoreTV News in Oshogbo, the immediate past governor of Ekiti, Kayode Fayemi, dismissed Fayoshi's action as an afterthought of what he has done while in office as governor of the state.
I don't play games with the people. In all my period in office, everybody knew that I had nothing but respect and admiration for all the people who had occupied the positions before me. At no time were any privileges removed from Governor Oni, and at no time has any privilege been restored back to Governor Oni. I challenge whoever is telling you that to bring evidence of what has been restored. Governor Oni's photograph did not leave my office for one day in all my 4 years in office. So what is being replaced if it was never removed? So if people want to play games, they can play games.
But for Segun Oni, he appreciates the gesture by Fayoshi, but with reservations.
It is so, I want to thank him. And I want to say that I appreciate that gesture for whatever it is. But that does also not change my position, because where I'm standing on principles. Without malice to anybody, I'm standing for development of the people, not just of Ekiti, of Nigeria. I'm standing for progress. I'm standing for the change that is going to liberate the people of Nigeria.
With the 2015 general elections looming large, this gesture is definitely not enough to bring the leaders out of the trenches of war. Rashid, CoreTV News.
Sultan of Sokoto and leader of Muslims in Nigeria, Muhammad Saad Abubakar III, says all Islamic sects in the country must unite and fight Boko Haram insurgency. The Sultan, while condemning the suicide bomb blast at the Kano Central Mosque on Friday, which left about 120 worshippers dead and many others injured, stated that the attackers are non-Muslims. The monarch, who spoke at a post-2014 Hajj conference at the National Mosque, challenged all stakeholders, particularly the federal government, to work towards ending insurgency in the country. The Secretary General of Jamaat in Nasrul Islam, Khalid Abubakar Aliyu, while condemning the attack, restated the need for the federal government to show more commitment towards ending the carnage in the northeast. Aliyu further called on the federal government to move from mere speech-making on the issue of ending Boko Haram to making decisive action that will show the government as serious in its anti-terrorism campaign. Meanwhile, the Kano State Police Command has revealed that Friday's bomb attack at the state central mosque was carried out by a suicide bomber and 3 gunmen. The Deputy Commissioner of Police in the state, Salisu Salami, however, says investigation into the bomb attack has commenced in full force. The National Task Force Against Illegal Importation of Small Arms and Light Weapons is seeking the investigation of an officer attached to a Nigerian Army battalion in Lagos. The task force claims that the officer, who is a colonel, is involved in the importation of illegal arms through the land borders. Director General of the National Task Force, Osita Okorike, made the allegations at a news conference in Abuja. He also wants the government to compel the Nigerian customs to intensify the search on vehicles coming into the country.
Then the last alternative was to go and block Colonel T. Issa. I don't know him even if he comes here. And this T. Issa, I have investigated him and I find out that he's one of those people who are in Meduguri, who are beating the members of the Boko Haram. So he has his interior motive. Now the Meduguri side, there's no load, no way for them to come in there. Then they have to divert. And Issa is in Lagos to do the dirty job for them, which he has been doing before. The moment this thing happened, I wrote to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That was on Wednesday, 20th. I think he must have received my letter by now.
And finally, on CoreTV News at 7, the World Health Organization says the death toll from the West Ebola outbreak on record has reached nearly 7,000 in West Africa. The toll of 6,928 deaths showed a leap of just over 1,200 since the organization released its previous report on Wednesday. The UN Health Agency, however, did not provide any explanation for the sharp increase, but the figures published on its website appear to include previously unreported deaths from the virus. The data released by the WHO, which covers the 3 hard-hit countries, reveals that just over 16,000 people have been diagnosed with the Ebola virus since the outbreak was confirmed in the forests of remote southeastern Guinea in March. Guinea, Sierra Leone and Liberia have accounted for all but 15 of the deaths in the outbreak, which has touched 5 other countries according to previous WHO figures. Well, and that's a wrap on CoreTV News at 7. Many thanks for watching. I am Frank Omalape. Do join us at 9:45 for primetime bulletins. Good evening.